This mission is a historic mission. We are really at a tipping point in the future of the campaign, and I'm absolutely convinced of the necessity for this mission.
When President Obama bought into the McChrystal plan, McChrystal chose Marja as the place where he was going to demonstrate that U.S. counterinsurgency doctrine could be applied successfully in this war. It was his demonstration case, his test case. It took on enormous importance. Now McChrystal's gone. Marja, therefore, is a burden for Petraeus, because Marja hangs out there, calling into question the feasibility of counterinsurgency in Afghanistan.
Marja, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. The point of impact for President Obama's troop surge, the showcase of America's new counterinsurgency campaign, the turning point in the war. The offensive here was supposed to demonstrate to Afghans and to the world that victory is still possible in Afghanistan.
The military has succeeded here. We've accomplished, providing a secure environment, depending on your definition of security, establishing a government, rebuilding roads and schools, opening up bazaars. There's a lot of naysaying, and that's fine. I recommend that naysayers come and see it for themselves.
Lieutenant Colonel Christmas commands the 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines in Marja. He remains upbeat about the offensive here. But out on patrol with Lima Company, it is difficult to see the success that he describes.
Enemy activities picked up considerably. A lot of ambushes coming from multiple points. We call L-shaped ambushes, or ambushes with small arms is coming at you from more than one direction. But the big change has just been the improvement of the enemy that we're facing. Much better fighters than we were facing in the beginning, I think.
It's not getting easier.
Easier? Yeah. No, it's not getting any easier.
Marines here say that the insurgency they face is growing stronger and more sophisticated. We march over fields and wade through canals to avoid the homemade bombs that line the roads and footpaths. The Marines have carved small circles of relative security around their forward operating bases. But when they step outside these circles, they almost invariably come under fire. Militarily, Marja has not gone according to plan. But far more important than the military fight, according to the Americans, is the political struggle to build a credible government that Afghans will prefer to Taliban rule. Lieutenant Colonel Christmas says his main mission here is to build up the local government, and he organizes many events like this one, where the district governor and officials from Kabul are flown in to preside over meetings of Marja residents. Today's meeting is a reintegration shura, where prisoners are released and symbolically turn in their rifles, pledging loyalty to the government. Before the offensive began, commanders announced that a complete civil administration had been assembled to bring order, stability, and development as soon as the Marines were in place. General McChrystal called it a government in a box and said it was the key to the entire campaign. But most of the bureaucrats and government officials refused to deploy to Marja. One man who did come was NATO's hand-picked district governor, Haji Zaire, an Afghan expat who spent 4 years in a German prison for attempted murder.
I'm not sure that I really know what McChrystal meant by government in a box. I'm not sure that McChrystal knew what he meant by government in a box.
I think that was a pipe dream. It's a neat idea, but frankly, what happened was that Haji Zaire was brought, and he was put in the middle, and it was said, okay, go. And that's a tough thing to do. And he's come a long way. He's come a long way with a lot of support.
I thank Marine has helped me every day.
In spite of Lieutenant Colonel Christmas's best efforts, Haji Zaire's administration failed to inspire confidence, and the Afghan government fired him unceremoniously.
If the best McChrystal could do was to bring an ex-con from Germany, the pool of talent from which we can draw in this nation-building enterprise, it's pretty darn thin.
Can you succeed if they fail?
Can I succeed if they fail? Now, like I said to you a minute ago, the success in Marja, in Lieutenant Colonel Christmas's opinion, is a guerrilla government that is able to operate and do its thing, and a successful police force that's made up of the Marja people.
But you're not in control of either of those things.
I influence them, but I'm not in control of them, nor will I ever be in control of them, and that's fine. If they want it, it'll happen. If they don't want it, it won't happen, right?
If they don't want it, it won't happen, Lieutenant Colonel Christmas tells us. And out on patrol with Lima Company, it would be easy to conclude that Afghans don't want the government that NATO and the U.S. are trying to build for them. This morning, a small homemade bomb was used to lure the Marines into a trap. Residents here refused to give any information, and it was only when a Marine spotted this kite string trigger that we managed to avoid this deadlier device. 50 pounds of explosives packed with shrapnel. As Lieutenant Quist's men destroy the bomb, you can hear heavy machine gun and mortar fire in the distance.
Second platoon is down there, dropping mortars, and we had third platoon in contact to the west.
So 3 different elements of Lima all sustain contact of some sort today.
Yep.
It's busy out here.
It is busy. It is busy.
The U.S. committed thousands of troops and millions of dollars to secure this small farming area in order to demonstrate to the world that victory was still possible in Afghanistan. But Marja has revealed a counterinsurgency campaign in crisis. The U.S. faces enemies that are more resilient than they anticipated and lacks political allies capable of building a credible state.
I have serious doubts about our capacity to transform Afghanistan into a functioning nation state where authority is effectively exercised from Kabul. It's a monumental task. Even if nation building is possible, we don't have enough money for that. We can't afford to waste the money that we do have.
Andrew Basevich, retired.